long layered haircut. She has really long hair, and we're going to take it into a V, sort of a U V in the back, and we're going to layer it all up, and it's going to look really good. Okay, as you can see, she has really long hair, and we want to keep the length as much as we can, and we want to make it sort of in like a V back here because she wants lots of layering and face framing in the front. The way I'm going to do this, it's like almost like a basic 180 haircut that you learn at school. And there's lots of different ways you can do this haircut. Because she has, you know, probably medium textured hair, I'm just going to do it from the middle. I'm just going to section it like this. I sectioned out this middle section here. I'm going to take this straight up. So I want to see where it's going to lay on the head when I lay it down. And I want it to lay about right here. So I'm going to take off about that much. Maybe even a little bit more. It's still long because this is never going to reach up here. We'll just keep pulling it up until this is cut. So first I'm going to cut this section here. I'm going to pull it straight up. I'm going to cut about this much. Now I do not want to round my fingers. I just want to cut it straight across. Okay, after I have that cut, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in there and point cut a little bit. This will break up the straightness of it and blend all together better. Now I'm going to keep going on that middle section. Again, I'm not rounding my fingers, I'm keeping them straight. I'm going to point cut again. Not a lot, just a little bit to break it up. And I'm just going to twist that. I'm going to twist that just to get it out of the way. I'm going to keep pulling this all up. Actually, I can probably take just the rest of this here. You can kind of go like this, like comb it as you go. Like I sort of comb along the scalp a little bit. So then you're not like pulling and tugging on the hair too much, especially if it's got tangles in it and stuff. You don't want to hurt her. And we're going to cut that. And again, I'm going to go back and point cut it a little bit, and at the same time just kind of straighten it out. Still leaves most of the length there. You know, it's all the way down here. So we're going to do the same thing on both of these sections in the back of the head. Now the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to part it down the middle like this. I'm going to take a section out like this. I'm going to use the middle section as my guide now. I'm going to pull it all up. Straight across. If I take a little section from the back here, and then I comb like a middle section through the front. I take a section from back here. I'm going to use that as my guide up here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this all up. So I took a little piece from back here, and I'm using it as my guide up here. I took out a middle section from the top of her head. I'm going to cut that across. I'm just going to cut that straight across. And I'm also going to go ahead and point cut that a little bit as I go. I always like to point cut as I go a little bit because I don't like lines being too straight. Start from here in the back, or you can start from here in the front. I'm going to start from the front, and I'm just easily going to just pick it all up. Going to cut off this side and this side straight across, but like I said before, I like to point cut as I go just to break it up a little bit, not too crazy. I'm going to take my next section. I'm going to work this all the way back using the middle section as my guide. Now for my sides, I don't want them to get too much shorter than the back, so I have to be careful. I don't want them extremely shorter, I only want them a little bit shorter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come at the sides coming this way. So I'm going to comb this all down, comb it in the middle. I'm going to comb it all down like this. I'm going to pull everything up. Now what I'm going to do right here, I'm going to take out that very bottom section here. I'm just going to drop it. follow that all the way up. I'm going to take my next section. Now I'm going to take that bottom section that we left out. I'm going to over direct it as much as I can, kind of the other way. And just sort of slice into it like that. Now we'll clean this up later, but it'll kind of give me something to work with. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, now we're going to start face framing it as well as shaping it into a V, okay? So first we're going to do the front. We're going to start in the front, and you want your layers to start about right here. Okay? We're just going to shape it all around. So I'm just going to keep pulling everything forward. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work it. I'm going to work the back into the front. I took about this section here, and I'm going to pull that forward. I'm going to pull this to here. You can see I'm just going to keep pointing that in. Okay, pulling that from the back, section at a time, sort of just working it back. The next section looks like this. I'm combing it forward. If you think it should be a little bit shorter, just keep making it shorter or adjust it as you go. Now I'm going to pull this half, straighten half here. I'm going to pull all that forward, all of it. All forward like this. I'm going to come down at an angle like this, you see? Now fine tune it, even it all up. It is going like this. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, now she's angled on both sides. I did the same thing on both sides. Now you really want to go through it to make sure that it's even. So you pull a section even from both sides. So pull a side here, check that's even. Pull, like feel, okay, here's the front of her ear. You want to pull that down, make sure that's even. You really want to just keep pulling it in front and making sure both sides are very even this way. Now I'm going to comb it all down in the back and even the back out. She already has like that V here. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to even that up. And that's simple, because we just have to comb that straight down. And she wants to keep most of her length. So now we're just going to straighten it out. And I'm going to sort of cut it straight across on the very, very bottom. And then as I go up, it's like almost like I'm face framing the back of the hair. First take off a little bit, then take off more and more. It's better to take off less and then take more off later than take a big chunk out of it and you can't put it back again. Now it's mostly there now, I just want to sharpen it up. Okay, here are the results.